Thank you, Mr. Chair. I want to say I very much appreciate the remarks of the ranking member, and I always appreciate, Mr. Chair, your push to try to keep this committee centered in thinking about the people we represent back home and trying to create an environment in the committee where we are trying to have a conversation with each other and not just hurling insults at each other. So I had prepared remarks, but I'm not actually going to use them because I just have to say it's so tedious when I come to this committee. And, I came up through my legislature. I'm used to working in a bipartisan manner. It's so tedious whenever we try to talk about issues like Social Security and Medicare that we get accused of being socialists. I hear that all the time in this committee by certain members on the other side. And I just have to highlight that across this country, I don't care what district you represent, the elderly in this country depend on Social Security and Medicare, and I don't think they think of themselves as socialists. They want a fighting chance to age with dignity, to not live out their lives in poverty. And so to come here and always have that hurled at us is not just insulting to us who are trying to work in a bipartisan manner, but it's insulting to Americans across this country who rely on those programs to live out a life of dignity. And we can have a conversation about bipartisanship and working together with dignity. And in fact, I will say the brightest part of my week this week was meeting in the Bipartisan Rural Health Caucus yesterday morning. Started my day that way. And we came together, Democrats and Republicans, and talked about issues that cut across party line, talking about the mental health crisis, the housing crisis, substance use disorder that is racking all of our congressional districts. And it was truly a conversation of how do we prioritize what the needs of our constituents are and how do we move forward. And so you can call me a socialist, you can call my constituents socialists because they want to have their Medicare and Medicaid protected. But what you're doing is showing that you're more interested in hurling names than actually getting down to the business of doing this work. I yield back.
I thank the gentlelady from Vermont for her comments, and it's at least share the sentiments that we ought to spend more time working together to solve problems and debating the facts on both sides of the issue. With that, I would like to